Hello guys, today I bring a very interesting geometric exercise. We have a right triangle right here, A, B, C, and within this triangle we have two right triangles. Okay, and we are asked to find what are the values of x and y. So x is right here and y is right here. So the question is, do you think we can solve this or not, given the information that we have right here? Absolutely, we can solve it. How do we do this? Well, the first thing is to note that we have two unknowns. When we have two unknowns, the first thing that comes to my mind is there a way that I could create two equations? Because if we have two equations and two unknowns, then we have a system of equations, and therefore we can solve for these two unknowns. And the second thing that comes to my mind when I see this picture is right triangles, and we have the sides of one of them. Okay, so the first thing to come to my mind is Pythagorean theorem. Maybe we can create two equations using Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so the first thing to do is maybe we can create Pythagorean theorem equation from the big triangle, and that would look like this. We have the hypotenuse is just x plus 3 square equals to one side is 5 square and the other side is just y square. Okay, so here this is our first equation. And now if we look closely, we cannot use the second equation with this triangle because we don't have any unknown. So there's nothing to look for. But we can create another equation using this one right here. We can use the Pythagorean theorem on this triangle right here. And that one would look like this. Y squared, right? Because if here is the right triangle, then the opposite side is the hypotenuse. So y squared is equal to, one side is 4, right? This share side is 4, and the other side is x squared. Okay, so now we have our two equations, so we can create a system of equation to solve for these two unknowns. Our unknowns are x and y. Okay, so let's create the system of equation, and I can see that the easiest way to do here is to look for y squared and then equal these two equations. So the y squared in the second equation is already here, very explicit. So we need to rearrange the first equation. It will look like this. Y squared is equal to x plus 3 squared minus 5 squared. And now we can say, hey, y squared is equal to y squared, right? The y squared from the first equation is equal to the y squared of the second equation. Why? Because it's just one y. So we can say, hey, the value that you use for the big triangle is exactly the same as the value that you use for the second triangle. Okay, so now let's see how this equation will look like. We have x plus 3 squared minus 5 squared is equal to 4 squared plus x squared. Okay, so now that we have this, we can expand this binomial. This will be the first one squared plus 2 times the first one times the second one. That will be 6x plus 9 minus 25 equals to 16 plus x squared. Okay, so here we can see that this x squared eliminates with this x squared, and we end up with just one x right here. And we can see that 6x is equal to, we send all the constant to the other side of the equality, and we have 16 plus 25 minus 9. And this is equal to 25 minus 9 is 16, and 16 plus 16 is 32. Then x is equal to 32. Sorry about that. 32 divided by 6, and this is equal to 5.3. Okay, so now we have the value of x. X right here is equal to 5.3. Now, how do we find the value of y? Well, we just substitute x in any of those two equations, and that will look like this. Let's take the second equation because it's easier. Then we have y squared is equal to 16 plus 5.3 squared. 5.3 squared is equal to 28.4. So y squared is equal to 16 plus 28.4. Y squared is equal to 44.4. And then we just take the square root in both sides. And y end up being equal to 6.6. Okay, so now here we have the value of y and the value of x. So in our drawing, this side right here, AB, is equal to 6.6. And this is how we solve for these two unknowns, applying the Pythagorean theorem using two triangles, one big one and one triangle inside the other.